Joe Biden. Can you go to the great commercial he did during Super Bowl, which may be one of the greatest clips of all time, Tom? If you can play this, it's fantastic. Watch this here.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Super Bowl Sunday. If you're anything like me, you'd like to be surrounded by a snack or two while watching the big game. You know, when buying snacks for the game, you might have noticed one thing. Sports drinks bottles are smaller.
What the?
A bag of chips has fewer chips.
Why?
They're still charging it just as much.
What?
And as an ice cream lover, what makes me the most angry is that ice cream cartons have actually shrunk in size.
Why?
But not in price.
God.
I've had enough of what they call
Here's a Ukraine flag, by the way.
It's a ripoff. Some companies are trying to pull a fast one by shrinking the products little by little and hoping you won't.
You just got a taste of the latest content from Valuetainment. We'll show you the full clip at the conclusion of this video, so be sure to stay with us until the very end. Before we get to that, we're excited to share our take on it with you. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more videos like this. We're eager to hear your opinions in the comments section below, and we'll definitely be engaging with your responses. In a recent turn of events, it seems the mainstream media has finally begun to acknowledge a concern that has been voiced by numerous observers for a long time now: the cognitive abilities of President Biden. The media's shift from its usual defense of the president to openly questioning his mental aptitude marks a significant departure in their narrative. This change coincides with a Super Bowl commercial that has drawn significant attention for its rather odd message, where President Biden laments the shrinkage of consumer goods like ice cream and chips without a corresponding decrease in price. The commercial, meant to be a lighthearted jab at what is termed as shrinkflation, may inadvertently encapsulate the administration's obliviousness to the larger, more pressing issues facing the American people. It's hard not to see the irony in President Biden's focus on snack food while the nation struggles with rampant inflation, a border crisis, and international conflicts. The fact that Biden chose to address snackflation while Americans face real issues like soaring prices at the pump, grocery bills, and a general increase in the cost of living is not only politically tone-deaf, but also raises legitimate questions about whether he is in touch with the day-to-day realities of his constituents. From my standpoint, as a supporter of Donald Trump, this is emblematic of an administration that has often prioritized virtue signaling and trivial matters over substantive policy and effective governance. Under Trump U29's leadership, the economy was strong, inflation was controlled, and America U20's foreign policy was assertive and respected on the world stage. In comparison, the current administration's approach seems to be significantly lacking in the robustness necessary to address the country's pressing issues. Moreover, the media's prior reluctance to question the president's cognitive state has done a disservice to the American people. For the good of the country, it is crucial that the president is fully capable of performing the duties required of their office. It is 29's concerning that it took a Super Bowl commercial for the media to begin asking questions that many Americans, U20 and myself included, U21 have been raising for quite some time. On a substantive note, Biden's whimsical reference to shrinkflation ignores the underlying economic factors leading to this phenomenon. As companies face increased production costs due to inflation, U21, something aggravated by the current government's fiscal policies, U20, they may reduce the quantity of their goods rather than increasing prices. This commercial oversimplifies a complex economic issue, once again underscoring the apparent disconnect with more in-depth economic realities. In conclusion, it's not just about snacks. It's about having a leader who understands and can effectively address the economic challenges we face. This week, U20's media shift might just signify an inflection point for the Biden administration, one that calls for a more critical evaluation of leadership and an unwavering commitment to addressing the genuine hardships that Americans deal with every day. As the Biden administration continues to field criticism for its policies and approach, many Americans, like myself, are reminded of the stronger days under Trump U29's leadership, when the country's economy and global standing were on a much firmer footing.
Joe Biden, can you go to the great commercial he did during Super Bowl, which may be one of the greatest clips of all time, Tom? If you can play this, it's fantastic. Watch this here. Go ahead.
Super Bowl Sunday. If you're anything like me, you'd like to be surrounded by a snack or two while watching the big game. You know, when buying snacks for the game, you might have noticed one thing. Sports drinks bottles are smaller. What the? A bag of chips has fewer chips.
Why?
They're still charging it just as much. What? And as an ice cream lover, what makes me the most angry is that ice cream cartons have actually shrunk in size.
Why?
But not in price.
God.
I've had enough of what they call
Here's a Ukraine flag, by the way.
It's a ripoff. Some companies are trying to pull a fast one by shrinking the products little by little and hoping you won't notice. Give me a break.
Come on, man.
The American public is tired of being played for suckers. I'm calling on companies to put a stop to this. Let's make sure businesses do the right thing now.
I want to see the drummers in the back. That's what I want to see.
Well, hold on.
They crush.
What the hell is he even talking about?
But with all this shit that's happening in the world, what the hell is this old crazy bastard talking about ice cream and chips? What?
Pat was asking why.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Why?
Why?
Yes.
I'll tell you why. Because raw materials are more expensive. Because inflation at the producer level is more expensive, and they have to economically make changes. And in capitalism, that's what you do. And if you want to be an informed consumer, look right there. All the stickers that are right there on the shelf that tell you what are you paying for ounce, how many ounces. It's right there. By law, it has to be there. This is basically free market working, and you're trying to pit haves and have-nots or one side on the other. Playing for suckers, I'll tell you playing for suckers, your administration and your economic policy. Let's talk about playing for suckers. Let's talk about the inflation that is gone, and you do not have deflation happening in a lot of core prices and a lot of core products. So to get on there and to speciously speak, I'm calling for companies to make a stop to it. Hey, how about legislation? How about pick up your pen? How about a few executive orders? Or are you just going to sit there on Super Bowl Sunday and throw this fake position at us? I found it was very unpresidential and very, very specious.
And
by the way, let me do this.
There were two commercials, weren't there?
I'll come to you.
Sure.
Yeah. And James Carville comes out. If you can play this one, Rob. I don't know if there's a clip or not. If there is, if you want to play it. James Carville, the fact that Biden isn't doing Super Bowl interview and probably won't debate, says James Carville, is a sign. Go ahead and see what he says. Go for it. This is on CNN.
He looks rough.
And the media and the commentary love that. And I just do not understand.
Okay, so speaking of chiseling in marble, we want you to live a long life. But someday the epitaph is, it's the economy, stupid. The words for which James Carville is known. The economy ebbs and flows. Economies get better. Age, it comes for us all. So if you were running the campaign, what do? Do you put them out more? Do you put them out less? How the hell do you handle this?
Well, when you don't accept the Super Bowl interview, you're, I don't know, pulling averages, you're 3 points down in a two-way. It's the biggest television audience, not even close, and you get a chance to do a 20, 25-minute interview on that day, and you don't do it, that's a kind of sign that the staff or yourself doesn't have much confidence in you. There's no other way to read this. And he's not going to do debates. He is old.
So are you.
I know what it is because I'm almost as old as he is.
Exactly.
You're falling apart sitting there.
You never, today is the youngest you'll ever be for the rest of your life. Now, they have made the choice that they want to go through with this. I know Democrats, myself being one, fundraisers, donors, door knockers, flushers, volunteers, the whole democratic infrastructure of the country, we need to be told, okay, this is what the president's going to do.
It's going to be all right, Rob. We can skip this part here right now.
He's not going to make it.
The Raging Cajun, James Carville. I mean, he's basically the Democrats' John Kennedy, the senator from
hilarious
Louisiana.
Yeah.
Look, here's Biden had one of his